advice. Welcome to She Who Thrives.
We're your hosts, Caitlin,
Mindy,
and Harrison.
Today's episode is all about body confidence, gratitude, and learning to love yourself exactly as you are. We have another guest today, the incredible Kacee Payne, who many of you know as the face behind Keek Photography or Keek Boudoir. She's somebody who's just helping women see their beauty in a whole new light. She started out taking photos for family and, wedding photos, but found her passion in boudoir photography, showing women how powerful it is to see themselves through a lens of self-love and confidence.
Kacee's photos show women the truth that they've never been allowed to believe, that their bodies are not something to fix, but something to be very grateful for. Gratitude for the strength, gratitude for the curves, gratitude for the journey, and gratitude for simply just surviving. Our bodies carry our stories, and every story deserves to be seen.
Thanks for coming on. Kacee is my oldest niece and the girl's cousin. So, yes, don't tell the other ones. There is something special about the first, niece, nephew. I was young when my sister had them. I remember her older brother being born, and I'm the baby of the family. So I was a little spoiled, had all the attention on myself for 11 years. And then came Chris. And boy, I was not happy when that kid was born. But yes. Anyway, tangent, because we're good at swirling on this podcast. So Case, just tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, how long you've been behind the camera, that kind of stuff.
Okay. I'm Kacee. My photography is Keek. That is my nickname. So Keek Boudoir, Keek Photography. It's my nickname that my husband gave me. It's just a nickname. So that's where that comes from. But born and raised in St. George, Utah. I live in Santa Clara, Utah. And I started photography 17 years ago. That makes me sound so old. Honestly, I always had a passion for photography and just started taking pictures of my sister and her friends. And then my best friend was getting married, so I took pictures of her. And I just fell in love with taking pictures. And that's kind of how it started 17 years ago.
So a wife.
Yes, I am a wife.
A mom.
I am a wife. I've been married for 18 years. I have 4 kids, 16, 13, 9, and 3. And they are my pride and joy. And I do this for my girls and for my boys to teach them all about body positivity and that women aren't just there for your pleasure.
It's a good thing for them to learn.
Yes.
So what first inspired you to start taking pictures?
From the time I can remember when I actually had a camera, I always had a camera on me in middle school, high school. I had the disposable cameras. I was always taking pictures. I loved photography. I tried to get in the photography class in high school and I did not get in, and I was very upset about that, but that didn't sway me from doing it. And in 2008, my best friend, she was getting married, and so I was taking pictures of her, and my dad saw my passion, and my dad took me to Best Buy and bought me my first Canon, my first DSLR camera. And because he saw my passion for photography, and I have him to thank ultimately for everything, because he bought me my first camera. And I taught myself everything. I taught myself how to use my camera. I taught myself how to use Photoshop and eventually Lightroom. And I loved photographing people. I especially at the time loved weddings. I loved couples. I loved that I could capture their love in a camera, and that lasts forever. Like, pictures last a lifetime. I always find myself going back looking at my pictures from when I was a baby, from any time, pictures are just everything. So that's what got me started, and I haven't looked back.
Mr. Tonster got you your first
Yep.
camera. What a guy.
Key money.
What made you decide to shift into boudoir photographer?
Okay.
Boudoir.
Boudoir.
Why did you want to take nudes instead?
Well, I took boudoir throughout the years of close family, friends. I never really thought much of it. It was other pictures. It was fine. But I was actually on the verge of quitting photography altogether. I had crazy burnout. Weddings started to give me such severe crippling anxiety that I just couldn't do it anymore. I was physically sick the morning of weddings, throwing up just because there's so much pressure. And I was done. And this pervy old guy, Roy, rest in peace, he hired me to do a boudoir calendar for him. He wanted to sell a calendar around town just of local women, and all the power to him. So he hired me to be the photographer. And I think we had about 13 or 14 women. And they weren't models. I think there was only like 2 girls who were actually experienced models. The rest were just everyday women, moms, not moms, everything. So we took 2 days and I photographed all those women. And when I was editing the pictures, I fell so in love. I was like, this is what I need to be doing. I love this. And I just had so much fun because it was in a controlled environment in a studio versus outdoor. Like it's raining right now. I couldn't take pictures right now outside. So being in a studio, it just was way more appealing to me. And that's how I got started, honestly. I still remember this. I was sitting on my bed editing next to my husband, and I had just sent the pictures to all the girls because they all got the pictures from it. And I got so much feedback from the girls, and it was, there is no way that's me. I had no idea I looked like this. You have no idea how much I needed this. I can't believe that's me. Just all these things over and over and over. And it brought me so much joy. It was the most rewarding thing I had done to that point. And I looked over at my husband and I said, this is what I need to be doing. And he said, do it. And so I did. And here we are.
I remember when you got asked to shoot that calendar.
Yeah. We did 2 calendars and sold 1.
So what does boudoir mean to you beyond the sexy photo?
Boudoir, to me, boudoir isn't to take pictures for your significant other. Yes, that's an advantage. But to me, it is about seeing your body in a whole different light. You are seeing yourself through my eyes. It is about loving yourself, loving the body that you have, loving the body that has changed. There's so many things, and it's about being empowered in your body. As a woman, it's so hard because our bodies change so much. There's so many things that are changing our bodies. There is, like, the biggest thing, having babies, but not every woman can have a baby. There is your hormones. Your hormones change your body, and just aging in general. And it's just loving yourself in that moment, because you're never going to look the same. I can look at pictures from when I was 17 and say, damn, I looked so good. But guess what? When I was 17, I hated the way I looked. I thought I was so big And I I mean, I would give anything to have that 17-year-old body back now. So it's just loving yourself the way you are in that moment. And there's something just so freeing about that.
Yeah.
That's what boudoir is. It's not just dressing up and being sexy. It's about loving yourself.
We have talked about that before. I remember being 17 and you pick apart your body, and now at 51, almost 52, I'm like, damn, I would love to have that body that I had then, but yeah, you have to, age is a huge thing. Our bodies completely change, and it's so much harder to keep things up and where they need to be, and watch what you eat. And I mean, everything just adds on top of it, and having babies, and that changes your body forever in some way, shape, or form,
Oh, yeah.
but the fact that we can carry babies, the fact that we are able to age because we're still living
Alive.
a life, we need to be grateful for all that. And sometimes it's hard to think about that.
What is your favorite part about watching women see their photos for the first time?
So many favorite parts, but honestly, like that in general is just like my favorite part, them seeing themselves, because like I said before, you're seeing yourself through my eyes. There's something so different than standing in front of a mirror versus seeing my pictures. When they see themselves at their reveal session, it's so you're always nervous because there could always be that one that's just like, they suck, I hate them. But that's never happened. um, just something clicks, and the most common phrase that they all say is, who is that? And every time I'm like, that is you. That's you. That's you who's sitting right here. That's you who's going to work. That's you who's cleaning up poop from your kid. Like, that is you. And I tell them all, I'm only 50% of this. I just took the pictures.
Yeah.
Like, it's you. It's all you. And it's just so rewarding to see them like, wow, I look good. I'm beautiful. I'm hot. And oh my gosh, it just makes me so happy.
Have you ever had clients that came in that were really nervous or really insecure, and then when they left, they felt like they transformed throughout the session?
I would say like a good 70-80% of the clients like go that way. There's still some that I think it's more so the ones that are more so doing it for their spouse or significant other, that you don't see as big of a change in them. But most of them leave, like they come in so nervous and scared. And then once we get going, they start to get more confident. And you can see that in the pictures always as I'm like going through editing, like their face just gets more comfortable. They start like getting into the poses more, and it just watching their confidence is so amazing. I just can't believe this is what I get to do every day.
Is there something that you do to help, calm people's nerves, or when you can tell they're just like so nervous, to just help them kind of relax? And
here is your alcohol. Just kidding. No. I have had some women who have drink and they have to take shots. Honestly, I have music playing. I have a playlist that just has all sorts of music on it. Having music is key. And just, I don't know, I have been told there is something about me that just has a calming presence and makes you feel comfortable. I wish I could like tell you what it is. I don't know what it is, but I think it's just, I make them feel comfortable, and I I don't start like, okay, get naked. Like, we talk, we have conversation, we joke. I joke a lot, I laugh a lot, I talk about silly things. I just do my best to make everyone feel so comfortable.
Well, I have had my photos taken by you, and anybody who knows me knows I am like the most, like, my mom's never even seen me naked. I'm always like, don't look at me, don't look at me.
I have a few times.
Yeah, but that was because I was in very vulnerable situations. But I will say, like, I remember when you had offered to do the photo shoot. I think it was for my wedding gift or something
It
like
was.
that.
Yeah.
And I remember telling Jason, like, I don't know, like, is this going to be weird? Like, this is literally your family. And he was like, I don't know, like, you don't have to do it. And I was so freaking nervous. And I also remember it was before you did like the package of like makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not good at makeup. And I remember being like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't even know how to do makeup. So I ended up not wearing any makeup besides mascara because I didn't want to look like I had an orange face and a white body. And I do also remember when I got the pictures, I was like, for one, I've never seen myself posed in lingerie like that. Like, that was crazy to see. And it was also crazy to feel confident, not only in my body, but the fact that I didn't even have makeup on. And I was like, holy crap. Like, and like I said, I'm so awkward and I never felt uncomfortable even being a family member, which I feel like could be either more awkward or less awkward. But I feel like for most, probably more awkward, especially like if you're an in-law versus someone who's like if Kate versus me, it's probably more awkward for me. But yeah, I felt not awkward at all, and I felt so comfortable. And like you said, I was shocked when I got the pictures back. I was like, holy shit, this is me. I can't believe I look like that. My biggest thing was, though, I remember telling you, don't get my cracked heels in these pictures, and if you do, you're editing those out.
Oh my god.
We don't need no cracked heels.
Oh my gosh, yes. No, we don't like cracked heels. We will edit cracked heels out for sure.
Do you have one story in particular that stands out to you more than the others of a woman once you have like done her photos and stuff, just seeing her fall in love with herself?
Ugh, I have so many. There was one girl who she was doing it for herself, but also she was getting married, and she had been abused earlier in life, you know. And I hear lots of stories. This happens a lot. But she had a scar from the abuse, and she didn't ask me to edit it out. She wanted to learn to love her body the way it is now. She always looked at the scar as awful shame. And when she saw the pictures, she sobbed. And of course I sobbed. I mean, because she saw herself in a new light. She didn't see that abuse. She saw this beautiful woman who has overcome hard things and can love herself again. And honestly, I have so many stories of that. I had one client who was in an abusive marriage, and when she got her pictures back, she decided to divorce her husband. I've had women who have had weight transformations, and they see themselves and they just sob because they can't believe that's the way they look, because like we were talking earlier, body dysmorphia is such a real thing, and they can't see that beautiful woman. They just see this horrible person that they thought they were, that was overweight or underweight or whatever. And it really changes them for the good. And I love that I have that superpower, that I can make these women love themselves through these hard situations, through the abuse that they've been through. It's amazing.
We talked amongst ourselves one time. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but how, I try and compliment women all the time. And the girls and I were talking, and
The girls and the gays.
yes, there's nothing better. Like, if a gay man is complimenting you, it's not because he wants to have sex with you.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
or a woman. I mean, a woman could want to have sex with you, but still, like, women getting a compliment from a woman is so nice, and even
It can make your whole day.
yes,
Yeah.
there's a girl at the gym, I've never seen her before. She's new, but she's just beautiful. And I went up to her and said something before we left the gym, and she was just like, you should have seen her face.
Aw.
She was like, oh my gosh. She grabbed me and she was like, thank you so much. That is so nice. I mean, she was so cute about it, but as good as that feels to see somebody react when you compliment them, I can't imagine how good it feels for you to deliver these to the women and
Yeah.
see their reaction. That's just got to feel so good.
It really does. It makes, like, what I do, it's not a job to me. I look forward to every single session I do. I get so excited. It's not work unless I'm like super sick and feel like shit, but I still power through and do it to the best of my ability. And I every day, I can't believe this is what I get to do. I can't believe this is my job.
Why do you think that it's so hard for women to see themselves the way that others do?
Well, being in Utah is a big thing because it is such a conservative area. And especially like when I first started getting into it 7 years ago, it was more. I was nervous about how conservative everyone is, how people are going to react. You just get nervous it being very conservative. Growing up in a very one predominant religion, you were taught to cover your body, that your body is a temple, that your body shouldn't be shown, that if your shoulders are shown, you're a slut. If you wear a bikini, you're a slut. If you wear tank tops, you're a slut. People can say what they want, but that's how it was when I was a teenager. And you're shamed for your body. You're shamed to show your body. You can't go to these functions and show your body. Your body is basically there to pleasure your husband and to have children. So that's how a lot of these women are raised, and that's why it's hard to see yourself sexy, to see yourself beautiful, because you're just taught that if you show your body, you're shamed. It's shameful.
Sexy is bad.
And it's so sad. And that's another reason why I really wanted to branch out and do this, because I wanted to teach women that no, your body is more than those things. It's more than a enjoyment for your husband, and it's more than just bringing life into this world. It does so many incredible things, and you should show it off if you want to, no matter your size. Who cares? If you feel confident in your body, wear whatever you want and be confident.
We could go into a deep dive about that, because I think just religion in general, the shame behind stuff. And I've had a lot of friends along the way just having open conversations and finding out that they won't have sex with their husband naked. Like, they leave their top on because, or certain things that they won't do that you're like, that's just stuff husband and wife should do.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't feel sexy yourself and you're not open to having a great sex life with your spouse, I just think things get so boring, and that's when people go this way in their marriage, and that's a huge
Yep.
thing, like feeling confident with yourself, and wanting to feel sexy and be sexy and do sexy things.
Well, and I think too, confidence is far more sexy to men and women than having a nice body will ever be.
Agreed.
Because your body, like
Absolutely.
you've said, it will change. But if you're confident in all of these different seasons, that's far more sexy to people than your body will ever be.
100%. Yep. Being confident in who you are is way more attractive than anything else. If you have a mid-sized woman next to a bikini model, and the mid-sized woman is just confident in who she is, and the bikini model is just boring and lame, and I don't know, like, you're gonna be more attracted to that mid-sized woman because she's confident. You need that confidence. Confidence is key.
I think that's part of the problem today, though, is that sometimes confidence is looked at as a bad thing if you're not, a stick,
Yeah, or sometimes confidence can be looked at as
arrogant.
she's so into herself and she's so full of herself, or, whatever it may be, which, I mean, there's definitely a difference between
Huge difference
being
between
confident and
egotistical and
Yeah.
confident.
for sure.
Yeah.
How has your own relationship with your body evolved over time, especially during this?
Yes, it has changed. I mean, how can it not change me, right? So I've always, I don't know. Oh my gosh, where do I start? Okay. So it's changed how I look at myself completely. Like years ago, when I first started, it just slowly evolved how I saw myself. I was, what would you say, I guess, mid-size plus size for a long time after having kids. And I just got more confident in who I was and just accepted this is who I am. And I'm going to embrace it. And I started to look at myself in the mirror and just look at the things that I loved about myself. I love that I'm a curvy woman. I have curves, and I would try to not look at the things that I hated, the things that, I mean, all women, no matter who you are, all women will look in the mirror and they will look at the things that they don't like about themselves. But once I just started looking at the things that I love about myself, it changed how I saw myself. And I was more confident in who I was. And I was telling Mindy this earlier, like looking back, like I have lost weight, but I look back at the pictures, and when I would see myself, I saw this smaller version of me. I didn't see this bigger version of me. I saw this smaller version. So it just changed how I saw myself. It changed how I look at my body. And I am grateful for my body. I am grateful for the stretch marks that have been made, because there are so many women that would give anything to have stretch marks from having children, and they can't. And so that's squirrel side note, but that's one thing like that I tell women, I will not Photoshop out any stretch marks for that specific reason, because I can't take that away from the women who would give anything to have it,
That's huge.
Our bodies are amazing. And we should love them no matter what they look like.
Yep.
I think, even as your family, there's been this light in you, like that's especially more recently, that's really cool and inspiring, I think, to see.
Well, and I feel like even when us talking to you about it, even not on the podcast, but like just when we see you at family stuff, you just light up. You get so excited. You're so passionate about what you do. Like you can really tell that you love what you do.
I do. I love it so much.
And I remember, when you very first started and having people on the other side of the family that, like you said, were like, oh, you're doing porn. Like, how dare you, and me sending you a big long message, and being the total opposite end of that. And like, what better could you do than make these women fall in love with themselves? How cool is that? You are
I know.
that.
I have a superpower.
I was going to say that is God's work, but that probably is very
It
blasphemous.
is.
I mean, that's what
I
we're
have
supposed
no.
to
I do have
do.
so many clients tell me you are doing God's work. I am. I am.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to feel more confident in front of the camera but feels self-conscious?
I mean, I would say that's like all women.
Yeah.
I have so many women that come up to me. Oh my gosh, I want to do a session with you, but I could never. I'm not confident, or I need to lose 10 pounds, or I need a tan, or I blah, blah, blah. It could go on and on and on. And I'm like, yeah, but what if you just did it? And what if you ended up absolutely having the best time ever and you loved the results? Like, I mean, because that's what's going to happen. And I do have a lot of women who have like, they're like, fine, I'm just going to bite the bullet. I'll just do it. And they're not ready in the way that they wanted to be, but they end up just loving how they ended up looking. And they're like, oh my gosh, no way. And then they book another session. I I get so frustrated because this is the most common thing, and I just don't know what else I could say other than just do it. Like, you're never there's always the one day, which, squirrel side note, like I've read somewhere that say, like, one day is never going to come.
Yeah.
Quit saying one
Mhm.
day.
Mhm.
So like my husband and I, we never say one day anymore. Like when we're talking
Someday
about
we'll have this. One day we'll have that.
yeah, when we're talking about our dream home, it's
Yep.
not, oh, one day we'll have that sauna in there. It's, hey, when we start to talk about our house, when we're building, let's add this in there. We change it. So the one day will never come. So stop saying one day and just do it. What's the worst that can happen? Like, what's the worst? Yes, you're going to be nervous. Everybody's nervous. But I promise, like, once you step into the studio and we start to get going, you're going to realize, okay, it's not so bad. It's not so bad, because I am going to guide you and pose you the whole time. You don't show up and I expect you to do everything.
That was one thing I was so nervous about. I'm like, how am I going to be doing this? Like, I'm not that type of person at all. She poses you like exactly how you need to be. Oh, arch your back a little bit more, or do this or do that. Like, it's not like you're thrown into a room and been like, okay, bend over, let me take a picture.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to do everything for you. You seriously just show up and we're going to have a great time. And guess what? You're going to see your pictures, and I would love to say I guarantee that you're going to love your pictures, but there are some women who are very nitpicky. But for the most part, like, you're going to be pleasantly surprised by how you look. And you'll probably leave feeling like $1,000,000, because most people do.
I've been trying to talk myself into it for years now.
Do it, Kate.
The best is I had somebody on Instagram like, you need to do a new session because, like, my weight loss and everything. And I was like, I can't right now. Not because of things. I was like, I'm just so busy. And I had a photographer friend message me, and he's like, now would you take that as an excuse? And I was like, shut up. No, I wouldn't, but I legit don't have time. I'm too busy. All my kids. Yeah, but And I get it. I'm like a hypocrite, but I can't take the pictures of myself. I have to hire a photographer, and it would have to be somebody from up north anyway.
We talked on here about Adam being in Alaska for 16 days, and before he left, I had like come up with this big poem. I had a letter for him each day to read while he was there, had them all in different envelopes. Then I had them in a big manila envelope, and each day it was something just cute. But on the first one that was on the outside, the letter on the outside of the envelope, I had told him, and something about, each night I would send him a picture so I didn't forget what I looked like. So you were like I went to your Instagram. Oh yeah, I almost cut my pinky off taking a damn picture. So we have like the stand, to put your camera on because we travel a lot and we like to take pictures. And when it's just him and I, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, I have to think of all these different poses. So I get on your Instagram, I'm scrolling, to the ones I like. I'm trying different stuff out. And then I would get it back and I'd be like, ugh, you need to arch your back more, because I'm doing it, setting it up, trying to do it all myself. But I was like shocked at some of the pictures I took. Like, I will show you after. And I'm like, damn, like that was you.
Love to be a fly on the wall while you were doing.
Oh, you would have died. So the thing that holds it, it's weird at the bottom, and my pinky got caught in it, and it folded up on my pinky, and I was like, oh, like I thought my pinky was going to be detached when I finally got it open because it was just squeezing harder and harder, and I had like cuts and indents on my little pinky. It was a mess, but my pictures, I was so proud of myself, and I was like, okay, maybe you do need to book one with Kacee. That was you doing it yourself, getting yourself ready, like if I had a little guidance,
and a camera.
Yeah, and he was like so grateful for those every night. You're out in the middle of the woods with a bunch of men for 16 days, like, but like I said, even doing them myself, I was like, dang girl, like you're not so bad for 51.
Not so bad.
Yeah. Not too shabby.
What is something you guys have struggled with about your body and something that you're grateful for now? The first thing that comes to my mind is, my C-sections probably. I'm obviously grateful for it now because I have 3 beautiful children, and the first one wouldn't be here without it. But, that's still something that I gotta work through. It's still a struggle some days.
I don't think people understand unless they've had a C-section, which obviously I have with the twins. And like people don't understand that unless they have it, but there's nothing you can do. You have your C-section scar, but then you have what they call a shelf above your C-section scar, which is just your normal stomach, but you kind of indent right there where your C-section scar is. Yeah. So and that can be, like.
But I think you can be grateful for it, and also, I don't know if resentful towards it is the right word, but I think that it's one of those things like you're so grateful that you have your kids, but it also can be something that you feel insecure about at the same time. Like 2 feelings can be there at the same time about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I just think we need to be more, instead of insecure about it, like this is freaking normal.
Yeah.
It is.
And I'm grateful for the kids that I have it,
Brooklyn wouldn't be here.
So. No, she wouldn't. That damn doctor.
And
bad subject.
I remember when
you were in there, weren't you, Case?
I was there.
Yeah, when she had Brecklin. Oh yeah, it was a hot.
Everybody was there.
Maybe never back in.
When I was pregnant with Brixton, I remember Kate telling me about her C-section. I think it was with Ava. You had a C-section with Ava, right?
All of them.
3 of them.
Yeah. And you were telling me like that you could feel, not like feel necessarily pain, I think is what you were saying, but like the movements and the
Pressure.
tugging and stuff. And I remember when I was getting ready to have Brixton, I was like, that would literally be my biggest fear, was having a C-section, because I can't imagine like feeling that, even if it's not pain. I was so freaking terrified. So thanks for that, Kate.
I would not recommend a
At
C-section.
least you were honest.
If you would have seen Caitlin's birth process with Brecklin and hadn't had kids before that, you probably wouldn't.
I think you guys are probably more traumatized from watching it than me, because at least I didn't have to see it.
I was just gonna say, just having babies in general just messes your body up, right? Like, it's hard to feel confident in your body when it changes so much.
Mm-hmm.
Your hips change, your ribs move, your whole body transforms. And so, like I said earlier, it's when you look at pictures of yourself pre-baby, it's hard to think, oh my gosh, I just want to be there again. But again, I go back to telling myself how grateful I am to have been able to bring 4 children into this world. I mean, I know so many women who would give anything to do it. So I'm so thankful that I have a body that can do that. And I'm gonna love the stretch marks that I got from it, love the change in my nipples from it, love the change in feet size, all the things.
Yeah.
The hemorrhoids you get, like,
Yeah.
I have heard of the feet size thing, which is crazy to think about.
I mean, mine just like grew like half an inch.
I think mine went back.
That's
But
a lot.
I was watching a guy, he posted something about what women go through in life, and how, you have your period and that lasts a week, and you have your whole PMS stuff before that, and that lasts for 2 weeks, and then you have babies that grow inside you, and every organ has to move to make room for that baby to grow. And he made it so that men could actually understand this whole process, but I don't think that gets thought about. Like, we're freaking pretty badass bitches. Like,
Oh yeah.
we make humans in our bodies. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All they do
We
is
create
shoot. That's it. Like,
Yep.
go men. We're the cool ones.
Well, Chasen claims that he carried our kids longer than I did.
Oh, and it was so hard.
so dumb.
No, because he's
Oh my
recreating all those every time. He didn't carry them very long.
He cracks me up, man.
No.
I remember having Caitlin and, barely 20, coming home from the hospital, going to put my jeans on and not being able to button them up, and coming out just sobbing. And grandma was there and she was like, honey, you just had a baby. Your hips had to expand for that. You need to give them more than a day for them to go back. You're fine.
Well, mine's been 11 years and mine still haven't gone back. So
That's fine. That's fine.
Sometimes you just don't go back.
No. And you know what? I don't think I want the shape that I had back then anyway. I mean, I have a little bit more weight on now, and there's a little bit more to hold on to.
Yeah, I used to like a
not
spaghetti
a
noodle.
spring bean anymore.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Like they said, tits on a stick when I had the twins and was nursing.
Jason called me that too.
That's
Maybe
always
that's
a
where he got
great
it from.
compliment.
That's probably where he got it from.
Thanks so much.
How do you think social media, though, in comparison and perfection culture, distorts how women see themselves?
Social media is a bitch.
Yeah. I agree.
Like, you can't compare. You can't look at the women on social media. I love the women. Oh, there's quite a few I follow. Is it Dana?
Yeah, I follow her too.
She'll do pictures of. She
Posed.
compares poses like a great pose and then the same pose in different lighting or with your stomach let out. And it's the same person in the same moment, just different.
Yeah.
It's
And
crazy, huh?
yes, like you see in the first picture, no cellulite, smooth skin, amazing butt. And in the second picture, you see all the cellulite. You see the stretch marks, and it's like, well, yeah, that's the same person. She didn't Photoshop anything. It's all about the light and the pose. So you can't compare yourself to all these women on social media because it's a
Yeah,
lie.
you see what they want you to see, and that's it.
Yes.
Well, and now all the
Yes.
filters, even with their faces, and you see somebody
Oh,
in
yeah.
real life and you're like,
Like,
wait a
You
minute,
don't look
you
like
don't
that.
look like you do on there.
Yeah.
So, yes,
Yeah.
you look at somebody and you're like, wow, she's perfection. Look at her skin. Look at her body. Look at that perfect ass. Look at everything. And then in real life, you're like, huh,
You don't look like that.
she's freaking normal.
yeah,
Why are we
Yeah.
putting this perfection that doesn't exist out there all the time?
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting worse too with young kid. I mean, even poor Breck, like when she says certain comments about herself, she is one of the most beautiful little girls I have ever seen. Perfect blue eyes, blonde hair, tall, skinny, like
Long old eyelashes.
beautiful. And to think that there's even one thing that she doesn't like about herself, and I'm like, you are stunning.
yeah, we're
And
really.
it's social media because you know damn well that people, I mean, if people at school are saying mean things, it's because they're jealous. 100%. I don't know a single person that could look at Brecklin and not think that she's stunning. And for two, these young kids are seeing all of these other kids their age that look like they're 20 years old because they have hair extensions and they have all this makeup on and then they have all these filters and they sit and compare and it's like it's so sad what it has done to young kids.
It makes me really scared. She's like, "Oh, I want a lash lift and I want money pieces and I need." I'm like, "You're 11 and you have a more extensive skincare routine than I do. There is something seriously messed up in the world."
Like Coda's the same way. She's 9. She's obsessed with going to Ulta and Sephora
And
and
Coda, too. She is
Stunning.
beautiful.
yeah.
So
I do think
We don't have ugly kids and grandkids in our family, just so everyone knows.
I do think one good thing about social media that's been lately is I do think that they are promoting like taking better care of your skin and all of the, use good, not even good stuff. I think that you can use regular face wash and stuff, but a lot of influencers are like talking about the importance of using sunscreen on your face. And I do think that that's valuable information to know when you're young, but to the extent that it's going is insane.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, you're taking
Like,
it from giving them good information to making them so insecure that they feel like they can't leave the house without a full face of makeup at 11.
yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm not looking forward to teenage years.
I guess I should be blessed I only have boys.
Yeah, so far.
So we're done.
I get a lot of clients that tell me like, "Oh, your girls are going to have the best body confidence." And like they're just going to love themselves so much, and I laugh because I'm like, "Well, Dakota loves herself too much." She'll just stand in front of the mirror and just look at herself, and I'm like, "Sis, take it back a notch, please." Just a little bit.
They're so cute.
I don't. Uh, and even Lila loves to look at herself in the mirror now too. I'm like, oh no.
Brixton's starting to like himself too. He'll like go in front of the mirror and he'll be like, me. I'm like, yeah, that is you.
No.
yeah. But I remember my mom like always being like, "Holy cow, you got 500 selfies in your phone. Stop taking pictures. Stop looking at yourself." I'm like, dang, I wish I still felt that way today.
You and Braxton. Braxton never passed a mirror that he wasn't like,
Yes, with his hair. So true. That man has the confidence of steel.
I know, too much.
He's a good looking kid though. So
Oh,
here you
that's
are.
cute.
All of your kids are good looking.
Do you have any stories that you want to share that,
Are not so good.
yeah, any that you were like, oh my hell, what did I just get myself into?
I mean, you know.
I think we all have heard
Yeah,
this.
we know.
We know one.
That's
Yeah,
why we
it's so
asked.
bad.
Duh.
Yes, and that's why I set boundaries.
You had
Yes, it was early on, like the first year that I was just doing boudoir. I had a lady book a session, and she showed up and she had an adult diaper and a binky. And that's what she wanted to be photographed in
Because why?
because that's what her husband was into.
that's more concerning.
Red flag, red flag. Call
I
the
know.
cops.
I know. I know. And she, yeah. So it was the fastest session of my life. I seriously, it was a mini session, and I'm pretty sure it was like 15 minutes long.
How did
I'm,
you control your face when she
I would have
showed
been
you
like,
that?
what the?
I don't know. I transform into, I don't know. I go somewhere, and I still to this day, I don't know how I.
Did you edit the photos and send them?
Yes.
Yeah,
Did she love her photos? Was she like, wow?
yeah. I guess I haven't heard from her because this was what, like 6 years ago.
She's oh well, that diaper really boosted my confidence.
Right.
And the
My
binky.
husband
It
said,
was weird.
It was really weird. So I have strict boundaries now.
Yeah.
That's really like the only time I've ever been like super uncomfortable.
I do.
Everything else has been fine.
Is it? Do you ever feel awkward at all when you're doing couples?
No, no. And that's like a super common thing. Like the men are always cautious. They're always kind of hesitant too. And I tell them, like, you're gonna get aroused. Like, it's fine if you do.
I didn't even.
I tell the men, I just want you to stay covered, like out of respect for my husband. I just don't want to see you. Like, you know, keep it covered, keep it hidden, whatever. But
Get in your
you're gonna get aroused.
waistband.
yeah.
And it's fine if you do. I'm like, I'll just start talking about grandma. Like, and behind the scenes, it's fun. Like, I just try to keep them laughing. Like, we really do laugh a lot. Like, it is this fun, sexy thing, but behind the scenes, we're just laughing and giggling and trying to get them to not get aroused. But it's fine if they do. Like, I'm not sitting there like, oh, you have a boner. I'm not uncomfortable at all. Like back in the day when I started loving photography, I don't know if you remember, Kate, but I had this wall dedicated to kissing pictures.
Yeah, I wanted one so bad after I saw yours.
I just had this huge ass wall dedicated to kissing pictures that I got from magazines, Abercrombie bags. Like, I just loved kissing pictures. So like couple sessions to me are just so fun. I just get to recreate my wall again. It's just these couples in love and showing their passion for one another. It's not awkward at all.
Yeah.
And your couple photos are so good too.
I know. I wanted to do some with Chase, and then I was like, that would probably be weird.
Maybe not.
And he would absolutely never let you take pictures of us like that.
Yeah.
I would just talk about grandma the whole time.
Yeah, that's perfect. Talking about grams. Did your husband ever feel uncomfortable about you doing couple sessions at all?
No?
I feel like he's a very confident man, so.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, they're in our home when he's there, so he doesn't.
That's true.
Now, the studio's in my house. But he trusts me. He knows that it's art for me. It's not, I don't get off by it.
That's good. Good to know.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your passion with us. We love the work that you're doing to help women see themselves through a lens of confidence, softness, and power. You are reminder that beauty comes in every shape and size, and to just love yourself. So thank you again for talking with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And this week's tip is to just find one thing about your body that you love. It doesn't have to be what society calls beautiful, your legs for carrying you, your stretch marks, like we said, for being able to carry children, your smile lines because you're happy. I mean, just find that one thing and try and turn it into something positive about yourself. Because gratitude turns what we have into enough. When we love our bodies, they start to love us back.
Yes.
Thanks for hanging out with us on today's episode of She Who Thrives. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. We will be back next Wednesday with a brand new episode. But until then, remember that no matter what you're doing in life, do it to the best of your ability and always strive to thrive. See you later.
Next time.